Arsenal are on course to win the 2025-2026 EPL trophy. In this video, we look at the game against Burnley, where Arsenal came out 1-0 winners. We'll also look at player performances from Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka, Kai Havertz, David Raya, as well as dive into the grand finale of the EPL title race. Let's go! Arsenal are on course to become EPL champions after 22 years of waiting. It's been a long time coming, and what they needed was a performance against Burnley, and a performance they delivered indeed. The game was not going to be an easy one because Burnley are not pushovers. They are 19th in the league, but just recently they suffered a narrow 1-0 loss to Manchester City, which shows you that they can be a tough nut to crack. Burnley came into the game, tried their best to remain compact. They also had a few half chances, had 5 shots, 0 of those shots were on target. That also shows you that Arsenal were solid defensively. Arteta made a couple of changes in the starting lineup, with Havertz coming in for Gyökeres up front. Odegaard came in for Lewis Kelly in the midfield. Mosquera came in for Ben White at right back. Arsenal attacked the game. They were all over Burnley in the first 30 minutes, and Trossard came close in the 14th minute when his shot hit the bar and bounced out. But Arsenal kept going, creating a lot of problems for Burnley on the right-hand side, and eventually Arsenal took the lead in the 37th minute from a corner kick where Bukayo Saka put in a very good cross, which was met by Kai Havertz. Arsenal still have, that ability to punish teams from set pieces. And let's talk about Kai Havertz. He obviously came into the team having been injured for a while, and he repaid Arteta's trust in him by scoring the goal that eventually decided the game. He had a good game all around. There was a tackle he put in sometime in the second half that almost got him into trouble. A late challenge on a Burnley player that VAR reviewed for a potential red card, but was struck out by the referee. Personally, I felt the decision was subjective because we've had instances in recent games where Manchester City players got away with similar challenges and they were only given yellow cards. So kudos to the referee for not distorting the balance of the game or showing a yellow instead of a red. The other player who was involved in that goal was Bukayo Saka. He recorded 50 assists and 50 goals in the Premier League, the second youngest player to achieve that in the Premier League, only behind Rooney. It just shows you the level at which Bukayo Saka is operating at. He doesn't get as much credit because recently he has been struggling with injuries and has been inconsistent in his form. But that doesn't take away the fact that Bukayo Saka is a top player. He has delivered almost every other season. If you check the stats, you could see, even this season where he has been injured, he has already amassed 18 goals and assists across all competitions. Kudos to him for that milestone he achieved. Another player I would love to single out is Mosquera. Mosquera came in at right back, and there were doubts across the Arsenal fan base as to whether he could be able to fill in the shoes of Jurriën Timber and subsequently Ben White. But he came in, put it a good shift. One thing you can be assured from his performance is that defensively he's solid, he's quick, he times his challenge correctly, he doesn't really make much mistakes at the back. The area that you could feel, it's not really up to the level of Timber and White is just when it comes to offensive play. He does his bit defensively and also tries in the offensive play, but obviously it's not at the level of Ben White and Jurriën Timber. But kudos to him, he had a very solid game against Burnley. David Raya got his 3rd Golden Glove award in the EPL. He has 19 clean sheets so far this season. That is joint highest for the club. He has matched a record that was held by David Seaman for many years and could go on to beat that record if he keeps a clean sheet against Crystal Palace. It just shows you the quality Arsenal have in defensive area, from Gabriel to Saliba and then to David Raya. They've done so well in ensuring that Arsenal keep clean sheets game after game. The 1-0 win against Burnley is Arsenal's 8th in the season. That is only bettered by 9 1-0 wins, which was recorded by the Arsenal team in 1998-1999 season. It shows you how good they've been all season. And even in his speech after receiving the award, David Raya said he couldn't have done it without, the team, the people in front of him. Everybody in that team understands their defensive responsibilities, and they eagerly play their part to ensure that the team concedes minimal chances, and more importantly, that the team concedes minimal goals. So kudos to the entire team. Declan Rice, with the player of the match performance, he has been exceptional this season. So the way I put it is, if we only limit ranking of players and comparison of players to goals and assists, we tend to miss out on the amount of work players like Declan Rice is putting in. If that was also the case, a player like Rodri would not have won the Ballon d'Or. It just shows you that there's an immense amount of work that is done by someone who plays in that number 6 position. They tend to run a lot, they tend to put in tackles, interceptions that are often overlooked. That is why you notice anytime Rodri is not playing for Manchester City, they are more likely to drop points, they are more likely to lose a game. And that is the same impact Declan Rice has at Arsenal. In the game against Burnley, he had the most passes, he had the most touch, he had the most line-breaking passes, he had the most possession won, he had the most forward passes in that game. And obviously, he covered a lot of ground. He's always running, putting in a tackle, dictating the state of play. It just shows you how exceptional he has been this season. Because that's what makes him stand out from every other person who is, in contention for awards like the PFA and the Ballon d'Or. It's the consistency. We saw Ousmane Dembele win the French Player of the Season with only 9 starts in the League One. And Declan Rice has pretty much started almost all of Arsenal's games this season. He's so consistent that his consistency has now been normalized. It's now as if, yeah, it's normal, it's Declan Rice, he should do it anyway. But he has been exceptional this season. And kudos to him, he performed excellently in that game. Arsenal could be crowned champions at Selhurst Park. They could be crowned champions in the game against Crystal Palace. What that would mean would be like a fairy tale ending to Eberechi Eze's story, who left Crystal Palace in the summer to join his dream club, Arsenal. And right now, there's a chance that Arsenal could leave that trophy at Selhurst Park. It just shows you that dreams do come true. An insane season for Arsenal Football Club. They've been criticized for, depending on set pieces. This is a team that has come through all of that criticism to eventually put up a fight for the EPL title. They deserve the credit. They've been the most consistent team in the league. And as an Arsenal fan, it delights me that after years of disappointment, years of being seen as the team with a soft belly, years of being seen as, butlers, we are finally at the cusp of making history happen again after 22 years. Let me know if you think that Arsenal can go all the way, or if you think there will be any late drama, drop it in the comment section. Bear in mind also that on the 30th of May, Arsenal will be playing the UCL final against PSG. What are your thoughts on that game? Do you think PSG will have too much for Arsenal to handle, or do you think that Arsenal's defensive structure will play a part in deciding who eventually wins that competition? Drop your comments below, like this video, and subscribe to the channel. See you on the next one.